A psychological truth most people never realize. Take a slow breath. Before you judge yourself, before you replay your past relationships in your mind, before you ask, "What is wrong with me?" Listen carefully. Because if you have ever loved someone who could not love you back properly, if you have ever chosen someone emotionally unavailable, distant, inconsistent, or confusing, if you've ever ignored red flags just because the connection felt intense, this message is for you. You are not broken. You are not weak. And you are not stupid for loving the wrong people. There is a reason your heart keeps choosing the same kind of person again and again. And the reason has nothing to do with chance. The truth is uncomfortable. But once you understand it, everything changes. The first truth, nobody tells you. You are not attracted to people. You are attracted to patterns. Your heart does not randomly choose. It recognizes something familiar, something it already knows how to survive. And most of the time, that familiarity comes from pain. When someone feels instantly magnetic, intense, hard to read, emotionally distant but powerful, your nervous system lights up, not because it is love, but because it feels like home. Why home is not always safe? Let's talk honestly. Home is not always where you were loved. Sometimes, home is where you learn to tolerate emotional neglect. Sometimes, home is where love was inconsistent. Sometimes, home is where you had to earn attention, approval, or affection. So, when you meet someone who gives you mixed signals, someone who pulls you close and then disappears, someone who makes you feel special one moment and invisible the next, your body recognizes the rhythm, and your mind confuses familiarity with destiny. The chemistry trap. You call it chemistry. You call it sparks. You call it connection. But psychology calls it emotional memory activation. Your brain releases dopamine when something feels unpredictable, when love is inconsistent, when attention feels scarce. That emotional roller coaster creates addiction, not attachment. Stable people feel boring to you at first, because your nervous system is used to chaos. Peace feels unfamiliar. Consistency feels suspicious. Healthy love feels slow. So you mistake intensity for depth. Why you ignore red flags? Here is a hard truth. You don't ignore red flags because you don't see them. You ignore them because you are hoping for a different ending this time. You think, maybe if I love harder, maybe if I'm more patient, maybe if I prove my worth. But deep inside, you are trying to heal an old wound through a new person. You are not chasing them. You are chasing closure, the role of your inner child. This part is uncomfortable, but necessary. There is a younger version of you that learned love meant effort, waiting, and endurance. That version of you still believes love must be earned. Silence means you should try harder. Distance means you are about to lose them. Pain is part of connection. So when someone treats you poorly, but occasionally shows affection, your inner child feels hope. And hope keeps you stuck longer than logic ever could. Why you feel seen by the wrong people. The wrong people often see your wounds before they see your worth. They sense your empathy, your emotional depth, your willingness to understand, your ability to forgive. And while some people misuse this, others simply benefit from it without intention. They are drawn to your light, but they don't know how to protect it. So you end up giving more than you receive. The addiction to potential. You don't fall in love with who they are. You fall in love with who they could be. You see their pain, their trauma, their softer side, and you believe love can fix what they refuse to heal. But potential is not commitment. Understanding is not effort. And empathy is not a relationship. You cannot love someone into becoming ready. Why healthy love feels uncomfortable? Healthy love does not trigger anxiety. It does not create confusion. It does not keep you guessing. And that feels strange to someone who grew up emotionally alert. You are used to reading moods, anticipating distance, preparing for disappointment. Peace feels empty at first, so you unconsciously return to what feels familiar. The biggest twist: you are not attracted to the wrong people. You are attracted to what your nervous system thinks is normal. But here is the shift. Once you become aware of this pattern, once you stop romanticizing emotional struggle, once you choose safety over intensity, your attraction will change. What healing actually looks like. Healing is not forcing yourself to like good people. Healing is retraining your nervous system to feel safe with consistency. It means choosing calm over chaos, walking away when effort is one-sided, believing actions more than words, allowing love to be simple. Healing feels boring before it feels beautiful. But boring is where peace lives. When you finally meet the right person, you will not feel anxious. You will feel grounded. You will not question your worth. You will feel chosen. And you will realize love was never meant to hurt this much. Final truth: you were never broken for loving deeply. You were just loving from an unhealed place. And now that you see the pattern, you have the power to change it. The moment you stop chasing intensity, you attract stability. The moment you choose yourself, you attract someone who chooses you too. Music. Welcome back to Psychology Fact. If this message resonated with you, stay with us, because understanding your heart is the take another slow breath. Because now we are going deeper than attraction, deeper than patterns, deeper than chemistry. In this part, we talk about the invisible forces that quietly pull you toward the wrong people. Even when your mind knows better, even when your heart is tired, even when you promised yourself never again, and yet it happens again. This is not failure. This is conditioning, trauma bonding, when pain feels like love. Let's name something most people never talk about. You are not attached to the person. You are attached to the cycle of hope, disappointment, distance, reunion, relief. That emotional loop creates a trauma bond. And trauma bonds are powerful because they mix love with stress. Your body releases cortisol during uncertainty, then dopamine when they return, then relief when things feel okay again. Your nervous system learns this rhythm. So when someone is inconsistent, your body mistakes anxiety for connection. Why letting go feels physically painful? Have you noticed how leaving the wrong person feels like withdrawal? That's because it is. Trauma bonds activate the same brain regions as addiction. Your body is not missing the person. It is missing the emotional highs and lows. That's why logic doesn't work. That's why closure doesn't help. That's why knowing better isn't enough. Healing requires nervous system regulation, not just understanding. Attachment styles, the invisible match. Here is another truth. We don't choose partners randomly. Our attachment styles choose each other's. If you are emotionally deep, loyal, overgiving, afraid of abandonment, you are often anxiously attached. And anxious attachment is magnetically drawn to avoidant attachment. Avoidant people fear closeness, shut down emotionally, value independence over intimacy, pull away when things get real. And that push-pull dynamic feels intense. Why avoidant people feel so attractive? Avoidant people don't give love freely. They make you work for it. And when they finally open up, it feels earned, special, rare. But what you are feeling is not intimacy. It is relief. Relief from anxiety. Relief from waiting. Relief from uncertainty. And relief is not love. The fantasy of, if I just love them enough. This belief runs deep. If I'm patient, they'll change. If I'm understanding, they'll open up. If I don't pressure them, they'll choose me. This is not romance. This is self-abandonment. You are not building a relationship. You are managing someone else's emotional limitations. And slowly, you forget your own needs. Why you feel safe in unsafe love. Here's the paradox. You are scared of healthy love because it removes your role. In chaos, you are needed. In dysfunction, you are useful. In broken people, you have purpose. But in healthy love, you are simply received. And that can feel terrifying if your worth was built on fixing, saving, or enduring. The fear of being truly seen. Healthy people see you clearly. They don't chase. They don't withdraw. They don't create drama. And when someone sees you without confusion, you can't hide behind effort anymore. You can't prove your worth through sacrifice. You must believe you are enough as you are. That belief takes time to grow. Why you stay even when it hurts? You tell yourself, it's not that bad. They had a hard past. They don't mean to hurt me. But the truth is, you are hoping pain will turn into meaning, that one day all the waiting will make sense. But love does not require endurance tests. If it constantly hurts, it is not healing you. The moment the pattern breaks. This moment is quiet. Music. It's when you stop explaining red flags. You stop chasing clarity. You stop romanticizing effort. You choose peace, even when it feels empty. At first, you feel lonely. But this loneliness is different. It is not abandonment. It is withdrawal from chaos. What real attraction feels like after healing. This part surprises most people. When you heal, you are no longer attracted to intensity. You are attracted to emotional availability, consistency, calm presence, honest communication. At first, it feels unfamiliar, but then it feels safe. The big shift. You stop asking, why don't they choose me? And you start asking, do they treat me well? That question changes everything. You were never addicted to the wrong people. You were addicted to the emotional patterns your past taught you. Music and patterns can be unlearned. Your heart is not broken. It is conditioned, and conditioning can change, not because something dramatic is about to happen, but because this is the part where things become quiet. Healing does not arrive loudly. It does not announce itself with fireworks or passion. It shows up as clarity, and clarity feels unfamiliar at first. When you start healing, your attraction begins to shift in subtle ways. You stop craving intensity. You stop confusing anxiety with excitement. You stop feeling pulled toward people who make you question your worth. At first, this can feel empty, because your nervous system was trained to stay alert, to scan for danger, to interpret distance as desire. So when someone shows up calmly, consistently, without mixed signals, your body doesn't know what to do with that yet. It feels neutral, almost boring. But this is not boredom. This is safety, retraining your attraction. You cannot think your way into healthy love. You have to experience it slowly,